Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, TJ Comments and Answers. I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to analyze and answer the questions from this week's Watchtower study. This study is for the week of May 20th to 26th, and it is titled, Don't Let Disappointments Distance You from Jehovah. Without further ado, let's begin. Let's look at question number 1. What are some blessings of being part of Jehovah's organization? Being part of Jehovah's organization brings many blessings, especially during difficult times. One of the main blessings is having a united spiritual family that supports us and provides guidance for having happy families and combating negative feelings. This unity and spiritual support help us stay firm and happy despite the problems of the current world. Let's look at question number 2. What do we need to do, and why? To not give up in our service to Jehovah, we sometimes need to make great efforts. This is necessary because we may feel offended by the actions or words of others, discouraged by our own mistakes, or disappointed by the actions of our spouse. It is important to learn from biblical characters to know how to handle these situations and continue with our service to Jehovah. Let's move on to the first subtitle, When a Brother Offends Us. Let's look at question number 3. What problem do Jehovah's servants face? Jehovah's servants can face disappointment and anger due to the actions of other brothers, including wrong decisions by elders. This can cause some to distance themselves from the congregation or stop attending meetings instead of continuing to serve Jehovah united with their brothers. Let's look at question number 4. What problems did the Apostle Paul face? The Apostle Paul faced several problems with other members of the congregation. He was distrusted and feared at first, some spoke ill of him behind his back, and a trusted companion, Mark, disappointed him. Despite this, Paul did not let these problems distance him from his service to Jehovah and maintained a positive attitude. Let's look at question number 5. What helped Paul not to distance himself from his brothers? Paul focused on the positive qualities of his brothers and not on their imperfections. Love helped him forgive and maintain a positive relationship with them, even with Mark, with whom he had a disagreement but later valued and worked with again. This love and willingness to forgive kept him united with the congregation. Let's look at questions number 6 and 7. What will help us continue to show love to our brothers despite their imperfections? We must imitate Jehovah in his love and willingness to forgive. Giving our brothers the benefit of the doubt and remembering that we are all striving to do what is right can help us maintain unity and love within the congregation. Additionally, as the end approaches, it is crucial to stay united and support each other, especially during times of persecution. Let's move on to the second subtitle, When Our Husband or Wife Disappoints Us. Let's look at question number 8. What problems do marriages face? Marriages face difficulties due to human imperfections, differences in personality, tastes, cultures, and backgrounds. These differences can cause tensions and problems in the relationship, and some may think that the solution is to separate or divorce. Let's look at question number 9. What situation did Abigail face? Abigail was married to Nabal, a harsh and wicked man. Despite having the opportunity to escape her marriage when David wanted to kill Nabal, Abigail decided to intervene and save her husband and household, demonstrating her love for Jehovah and her respect for the institution of marriage. Let's look at question number 10. What might have motivated Abigail not to give up despite having many difficulties in her marriage? Abigail loved Jehovah and valued what he said about marriage. She knew that marriage is sacred to God, which motivated her to save her husband and household. Her desire to please God, her bravery, and her willingness to apologize for something she had not done show her great character and devotion. Let's look at question number 11, Part A. What does Jehovah want married couples to do? Jehovah wants married couples to respect each other and strive to solve their problems with love and respect. Examples like Carmen, who treated her husband with love and respect despite their difficulties, show that the effort to maintain the marriage is valuable and has Jehovah's support. Let's look at question number 11, Part B. What do you learn from Carmen's example? Despite these difficulties, Carmen did not give up. For 50 years, she continued to treat her husband with love and respect, striving to understand him better and communicate with him lovingly. Carmen understood that her marriage was sacred to Jehovah and committed to doing everything possible to maintain the relationship despite the challenges and emotional pain she faced. Let's move on to the third subtitle, When We Feel Disappointed with Ourselves. Let's look at question number 12. How might we feel if we commit a serious sin? If we commit a serious sin, we might feel like a lost cause, overwhelmed by guilt, and think that Jehovah has abandoned us. This feeling can be very debilitating and make us believe that it is not worth continuing to serve God. Let's look at question number 13. What serious sin did Peter commit, and what mistakes led him to that point? The Apostle Peter made several mistakes before denying Jesus 3 times, including overconfidence, falling asleep when he should have been alert, and abandoning Jesus at his arrest. These mistakes culminated in his denial, which caused him great guilt and sadness. Let's look at question number 14. What helped Peter not to distance himself from Jehovah? Peter did not isolate himself after his sin but sought the comfort of his brothers and received support from the resurrected Jesus, who assigned him greater responsibilities instead of reproaching him. This support and the certainty that he was not lost helped him move forward. Let's look at question number 15. What certainty does Jehovah want us to have? Jehovah wants us to be convinced of his love and willingness to forgive us. Although it is normal to feel guilty when we sin, we must seek help, especially from the elders, and remember that Jehovah still loves us and is willing to forgive us if we sincerely repent. Let's look at question number 16. Why do you want to continue serving Jehovah without giving up? Continuing to serve Jehovah without giving up is valuable because he appreciates our efforts and helps us in difficult times. Cultivating love and forgiveness towards our brothers, respecting marriage, and seeking Jehovah's help when we sin are ways to show our love for God and receive his blessings. Now we will answer the review questions titled, What will help us continue serving Jehovah in these situations? Question 1. When a brother offends us. When a brother offends us, it is important to remember that we are all imperfect and that offenses can occur even among people who share the same faith. The example of the Apostle Paul is very instructive in this regard. Despite the distrust and criticism he faced, Paul did not allow the actions of other brothers to distance him from his service to Jehovah. Instead of focusing on the imperfections of others, he focused on their positive qualities. Additionally, the love he felt for his brothers allowed him to forgive and maintain healthy relationships within the congregation. Paul recommended in Colossians 3:13-14 that we bear with and forgive one another, which he himself practiced. A notable case is his relationship with Mark. Although they had a serious disagreement at first, Paul later recognized Mark's valuable qualities and collaborated with him again, highlighting his ability to forgive and his willingness to keep working together. For us, following this example means giving our brothers the benefit of the doubt when they treat us poorly, assuming that their intentions were not bad and that they are also striving to do what is right. Unity and love are crucial, especially as the end approaches, as we will face more persecutions and need mutual support. The experience of Joseph in prison, who learned to bear with and generously forgive his fellow witnesses, underscores the importance of unity in Christian love in difficult times. Question 2. When our husband or wife disappoints us. Marriages can face serious challenges due to differences in personality, culture, and background, as well as human imperfections. The story of Abigail and Nabal is a notable example of how to handle difficult situations in marriage. Despite being married to a harsh and wicked man, Abigail did not take the opportunity to get rid of him when David planned to kill him. Instead, she intervened to save his life, demonstrating her deep respect for marriage and her desire to please Jehovah. Respect for marriage is essential for Jehovah's servants. Ephesians 5:33 emphasizes that husbands should love their wives and wives should respect their husbands. This mutual respect and love are fundamental to resolving conflicts. The example of Carmen, who endured for 50 years the difficulties with her husband who did not share her faith, shows how love and perseverance can keep a marriage united. Despite her husband's threats and rejection, Carmen continued to show him love and respect, trusting that Jehovah values her effort. Jehovah is pleased when marriages strive to resolve their problems and treat each other with love and respect. This effort not only strengthens the marital relationship but also demonstrates our respect for divine standards and our love for God. Question 3. When we feel disappointed with ourselves. Feeling disappointed with ourselves is common when we commit a serious sin. Guilt and the feeling of having let Jehovah down can be overwhelming, as happened to the Apostle Peter after he denied Jesus 3 times. Peter made several mistakes, from overconfidence to abandoning Jesus at his arrest and, finally, denying him publicly. However, instead of isolating himself, Peter sought the comfort and support of his brothers and was reassured by the appearance of the resurrected Jesus. This support and the reaffirmation of his value by Jesus were crucial for Peter not to distance himself from Jehovah. Jesus not only forgave him but also gave him new responsibilities, showing that he still trusted him. This teaches us that, despite our mistakes, we should not feel discarded by Jehovah. By seeking help and comfort in the congregation and from the elders, we can receive the necessary support to overcome our feelings of guilt and continue serving God. Jehovah wants us to be convinced of His love and willingness to forgive us, as mentioned in Psalm 86, 5 and Romans 8, 38, 39. Feeling guilty is natural, but we should not let it paralyze us. Like in Robert's case, seeking help from the elders and remembering that Jehovah still loves us can help us recover and move forward. We know that Jehovah forgives us if we sincerely repent, seek His help, and strive not to repeat our mistakes. This certainly gives us the strength to continue in our service to God even after stumbling. Well, these have been the answers for this week's Watchtower study. I hope they are very helpful to you, my dear brothers and sisters. We will see you next week with a new video. I send you a big hug, and may Jehovah always bless and protect you.